All right, welcome. Today we are diving into an absolutely legendary tale from the Mahabharata. It's a story where a simple drink of water becomes this profound test of character, of wisdom, and ultimately, of destiny.
So, here's the big question, right? We are talking about heroes who are famous for their incredible strength, their skill, their intellect. So what on earth could possibly take them all down, just like that, with no fight and no enemy in sight?
Yeah, you heard that right. The answer is a quiet, beautiful, seemingly harmless pool of water in the middle of a forest. So, how in the world does that work? How can something so simple be so deadly? Well, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get this, you need to understand the scene. Our story kicks off in the final, brutal days of a 12-year exile. The 5 Pandava brothers, who are the rightful heirs to a kingdom, have been stuck in the wilderness, and they're at the absolute end of their rope. Their long ordeal is almost over, but there's one last test waiting for them.
And what kicks this whole thing off is, well, it's pretty strange. A magical deer leads them on this crazy chase way off their path. By the end of it, they are completely drained, they're lost, and they are suffering from this burning, all-consuming thirst. I mean, we're talking a desperate, life-or-death kind of thirst.
And just when they think it's all over, Nakula, the youngest brother, spots it. A perfect sparkling pool of water. It looks like a miracle, but you know how these stories go. This beautiful oasis, it's hiding a pretty dangerous secret.
As Nakula rushes to the water's edge, this voice, this unseen voice, echoes through the clearing, giving him a very clear warning. So now he has a choice, right? Obey the mysterious voice or just give in to his desperate thirst.
So what does Nakula do? He ignores the warning, drinks the water, and boom, he collapses. Just like that. And then one by one his brothers show up looking for him. Each one finds the beautiful pool, hears the exact same warning, and, driven by that overwhelming thirst and their own impatience, every single one of them makes the exact same fatal mistake. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it shows how each brother's greatest strength actually became their fatal flaw. Nakula, the youngest, was just too impatient. Sahadeva, the smart one, was so confident in his own intellect he just dismissed the warning. Arjuna, the unmatched warrior, he gets all puffed up with pride and anger when he's challenged. And Bhima, literally the strongest of them all, just lets his raw emotion completely take over. See the pattern? All these incredible heroes, but they all had one thing in common. They let their immediate desires win.
So finally, the eldest and wisest brother, Yudhishthira, shows up. And the scene he finds is just horrifying. His 4 powerful brothers just lying there, motionless. But he's the wise one, right? He looks around. No wounds, no sign of a fight. And he knows. He just knows. This wasn't some random attack. This was something supernatural.
And this, right here, is the key difference. It's what sets him apart. While his brothers all acted on impulse, their thirst, their pride, their anger, Yudhishthira pauses. Instead of letting grief or revenge take over, he chooses reason. He sticks to his core principles, what he knows is right, his dharma. He decides to listen first.
You can actually see his thought process, step by step. It's brilliant. First, he doesn't panic, he just observes. Then he reasons that the cause has to be supernatural. He hears the same warning his brothers ignored, and finally he makes the big choice. Wisdom over his own desperate thirst. That, right there, is true strength in a crisis. It's mental clarity.
So this voice, it belongs to a Yaksha, which is a kind of powerful nature spirit, the guardian of the pool. Yudhishthira agrees to the deal, and so this incredible test begins. It's not about fighting. It's a battle of wits, a series of deep, philosophical riddles about life, happiness, and the very nature of right and wrong.
Among all the questions, the Yaksha asks what is probably its most famous one. And I want you to think about this for a second, really. What would you say is the greatest wonder in the world?
And here's Yudhishthira's answer. Wow, it's so profound. It's this incredibly sharp observation about us, about human nature. Basically, we see people die every single day, yet we all walk around as if we're going to live forever. That, he says, is the greatest wonder of all. The Yaksha is completely blown away by this, and so he reveals his true form. He's not a nature spirit at all. He is Yama, the god of death and justice. So you see, this was never really about a drink of water.
This whole thing was a divine test, set up by Yudhishthira's own father to see just how deep his commitment to Dharma really was. And because he passed this test with like flying colors, Yudhishthira gets his reward. Yama brings all 4 of his brothers back to life. And on top of that, he gives them this incredibly important blessing. For their final 13th year of exile, where they have to live in disguise, no one will be able to recognize them. He's basically guaranteed their safety.
So, why are we still talking about this story thousands of years later? Well, because that enchanted pool, it's a perfect metaphor for our lives, right? Think about it. It's that choice between scrolling on your phone and getting that important project done. It's choosing to lash out in an argument or taking a deep breath. It's all those little daily crises where we have to choose our short-term impulse or a wiser, more patient path.
So, what are the big takeaways from all this? Well, that real strength isn't just about muscle, it's about wisdom. That having control over your own impulses, that's the ultimate superpower. It teaches us that just pausing to think will always lead to better results than just reacting in the heat of the moment. And that, in the end, trying to live a good and righteous life brings its own rewards.
And that really brings it all back to us, doesn't it? The next time you face a moment of pressure, a temptation, a crisis, your own enchanted pool, what are you going to do? Are you just going to drink the water, or are you going to stop and answer the question first?